People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McLemore.
Woo! All right. Hello. Oh my gosh. We got a great show ahead of us. Welcome to a special edition of the WSBI podcast program. This evening, you will be spending moments with Lady K and Mr. T. Welcome, Mr. T.
Welcome, Lady K.
How are you?
I'm doing very, 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 very well. How about yourself?
Doing great. I tell you, I am on a high, as you can possibly imagine, and we'll get more into that. Now, this is a good high. It ain't the other stuff, y'all, so don't go down that path with me, okay? I'm letting you know now, okay? Letting you know now. We have some amazing people on the show tonight. I've got so many things running around in my head that I want to talk about, but of course we got to talk about, we have two special guests with us tonight. We have D. Bowden, owner of BCS Solutions, and Kenyon Salo, not one, but two people, founder of Kenyon Salo, Inc. Also, we're going to have a great discussion on, do you want it bad enough? That's one of the topics for tonight. We're going to have this got to have that conversation. Ain't that right, T?
That's right.
All right. But before we actually go down that road, Mr. T, you know what you got to do? Do you know what you got to do?
I know what I got to do.
What do you got to do?
I got to tell the listeners a little bit about myself.
Oh, well, take care of your business, sir.
Thank you very much. Everyone, hello out there in listener land. I am Tarek, affectionately known as Mr. T. That's Mistah, not Mr., because we don't want to be all proper. And there was a gnat that kept flying around my mouth. So I wasn't speaking very much because I didn't want it to fly in my mouth. It was my lunchtime, but I didn't want to be eating on any gnats. So, call me crazy.
Well, gnats like that brown sugar. It's all right.
Evidently so. I'm just like, I'm irresistible.
It's
so how
sweet.
about you, Lady T? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Lady K? Did you call me Lady K?
Lady K.
Lady T? I was like, who was Lady T?
I said Lady K.
I'm like, wait a minute. Did you
K.
bring on somebody I didn't know about? I mean, seriously?
Well, there might be a special guest. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, you trying to kick me out on my own show, y'all. I mean, seriously.
I know,
really?
I'm so bad. Smacking my hand.
All right. For those who don't know who I am Lady K. I am the owner of the Women's Small Business Initiative, that's WSBI. And, of course, I am the owner of this wonderful show. It's, of course, a part of the WSBI platform, which is your Resource for Success podcast program. I am also author Kimberly McLemore, so I've got a couple of good books out there, which we're not going to engage on tonight. But I also have another new show, which we're going to talk about later on, too, when we get into some of the events and so forth. So we've got a lot going on this evening, but I really want to dive into our topic of conversation because I need to get to these guests because these people hanging on, oh, my gosh, y'all just don't know. I'm telling you. You are going to hear some phenomenal people tonight. But before we dive in that, I really want to talk about, do you want it bad enough? Does anybody really kind of sit back and think to themselves, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do to live your dreams? And this is what I want to focus on tonight. You know, everybody has passion. I know last week when we were on, we talked a lot about, you know, what it meant to be a success. This isn't really about what it means to be a success. It's about what are you willing to do to get to where you need to get to. And, you know, we all talked a few minutes before we went live. And Kenyon, you said some things, which I'll let you talk in a little bit, but he said some things that made sense about living your dream, you know, going out and doing the things you want to do. And I'm going to let him dive into that later. But really, it's about what are we willing to sacrifice? And for me, I've learned at the age of 52, sacrifice has been what I've been doing all my life to get to where I want to be at. And now I'm really starting to see that reality come true because I'm actually pushing even further and even harder. And I don't know if it's because a part of it is the age or it's because the desire. And those are the topics, those are the things I kind of wanted to dive into. So, you know, Mr. T, what is your thought process?
Well, you know, I took some time to really think about our topic about, you know, do you want it bad enough? And I was thinking about that first and thinking about sacrifice as well. And I kind of had to think of them separately, and I wasn't sure how to patch those things together. But in thinking about do you want it bad enough, I found myself thinking about actually how sometimes people get trapped behind their own fear. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in wanting things bad enough, I just kept coming back to this place that sometimes people pause themselves and forget to move forward because they get so wrapped in that fear that it doesn't matter how bad that they may want a specific thing, they actually end up talking themselves out of it. And I don't know why I kept going there, but I kept thinking about that. And then even with our conversation last week, thinking about the I spoke about how success is when preparation meets opportunity. And so I kept thinking about wanting it bad enough. It's the kind of like the necessity of preparation and doing the work that you need to do. Like I kept thinking about how people, you know, say, "Oh, I want to be a singer or a vocalist, and I'm going to be famous," but you know, they don't take vocal lessons. And
right.
You know, like, "Oh, you want to be a designer, but all you do is watch Project Runway, and you don't know how to sew a pattern." So you know, the basic stuff. So and wanting it bad enough, I'm back at that place of, you know, are you doing the work that you need to do to get you to where you need to go to? Mm-hmm. And, you know, are you letting fear kind of block your path? And then in thinking about sacrifice, and I know I'm speaking in two different lanes almost, at least it feels like it to me. But, you know, sacrifice, I know, is different things to different people.
Right.
And I think it'll vary with your path. You know, most of us, you know, don't have a lot of money to just throw into we call it our side gig or our side hustles.
Right.
And so, because, you know, most of us are living people, we have families, we have obligations, bills that need to be paid. So sometimes I think people don't think about sacrifice.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
December deals just dropped at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional $75 off every $1,000 you spend on select kitchen major appliances from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Amana, and Maytag. And save $30 on a Project Source 3-gallon pancake compressor. Was $79.98, now $49.98. Valid 12/19 through 12/25. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Tool offer valid 12/5 through 12/18. While supplies last.
Sacrifice. As far as where's my thought going here?
Come on now, get it out. Don't have those senior moments on me, okay?
Yeah, I know, right? I think they get wrapped up in trying to make the dream come together all at once rather than pacing themselves. And sacrificing, what you do is, instead of going out to lunch on the weekend or to brunch with your girlfriends for mimosas and whatever, you save that money and then you can go and get like a logo made, or you can work on setting up a web page. Like there's so many things that you can do like in small steps. My big thing is about planning. Right. And planning out your vision. Like you need to have a very clear vision of what your goal is, number one, and making those sacrifices to get there. You monitor yourself and you order your steps in a sense, and so you can get to a place where you can actually accomplish things and get things done. And sometimes that's sacrifice in and of itself, just sacrificing the time to write down that list of things you want to do to get to where you want to go, or
but what
investing in your business.
It's that desire. It's that desire to want to get to whatever that goal may be. And I think, what you're talking about, it interchanges. It's actually, there's really no difference. It's just about really what that person wants to do. We all sacrifice something, but it's how do you want to go about doing that sacrifice? And it's okay to make mistakes. And are you willing to get up and take those mistakes and learn from them? And that's another part of what we sacrifice. We all run into that wall. We all got to figure it out. But if you have something that you're truly passionate about and that you love, you're going to jump into and you're going to dive, you're going to put your soul into, because that's what we do every day. It's no different than what you're doing with your Zumba. It's no different than what I'm doing with my business, or whether I'm writing a book, whatever it is that we decide to do. We have a certain desire, and all of us that are business owners, you don't even have to be a business owner. It's just about knowing what you want. I mean, that's really what it is. So, I'm not going to beat this to a dead horse. What we do definitely need, though, to do is I want, D, are you there? D?
I'm
Bowden?
here.
All right, because, I want to ask you this question. I want to ask you this question before you jump into telling us a little bit about yourself. What do you feel is that's the topic? Do you want it bad enough? How does that affect you, and how do you work that in your life?
Well, first off, thanks for this opportunity to respond to that. I think when you say, do you want it bad enough, for me, it means, what am I willing to do every single day to move my idea to a plan, and my plan to a dream, and my dream to reality. So, for example, I went to school. I went to school. So for the past year, I actually just graduated from the Steve Harvey's Act Like a Success School of Business Acceleration. So I invested some money and went to school under his program for a year. The sacrifice was I was still working a full-time job and had obligations to my manager and my team, along with wanting to create my own business on the side. So did I want it bad enough? Absolutely. I had to maintain my day job and then also do this as well for myself.
Right. But before you go down any further on the path, let us introduce who you are. We have D Bowden on. Like I said, D is the founder and owner of BCS Solutions. And what D does is she does a revenue recovery. She calls it B2B collections, number 11. I'm going to have her explain all this because I don't know what that means. But basically, in a nutshell, what she does is she recovers money from past due invoices for different companies, for the government, all types of people. But I'm going to let you dive into telling the listeners just a little bit more about who you are as an individual before you start going down the path of what's going on with your business. So, you got the floor now, D. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm D Bowden. I'm originally from Boston. I am a true Celtics fan, a Patriots fan, a Red Sox fan. I'm a lover of jazz. I love Ferris wheels, and I love taking hot air balloon rides. So that's some of the fun facts about me. I relocated to the DMV about 12 years ago to start my journey in government contracting, and I've just this is the second time I've actually created a business. My first time was creating a business about 10 years ago, but the mistake I made then, which is different than this time, is that back then I didn't go and get
Did we lose you? All right, D.
I hope not.
Are you still? Well, we'll keep it moving till we can get her back. All right. And I also want to say to the Facebook audience that's listening, Dee, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. All right, because we lost you there for a minute. But I just real quick want to say, my Facebook listeners, you guys, if you are not actually on Spreaker or have not subscribed to iHeartRadio, you may not be able to hear our guests. It's important that you need to use the links that I provided there on Facebook in order for you to actually hear the full interview. So I don't want you to miss out, but this is how the show runs. Only reason why, we wanted to give you guys, my Facebook listeners, we wanted to get you see what goes on behind the scenes of what I do and how we run the show, because it's really important. And a lot of people learn from this. So, if you have not been able to hear the full show, you need to connect through iHeartRadio or through Spreaker. The links are there. The automatics come up through on Facebook as well, on Twitter. You can go to the YouTube page. There's a lot of information out there to help you get connected. So, okay, I'm sorry, Dee. We finally got you back on. So let's go ahead and let you finish your story.
Okay. So I'm not sure where it cut off, but basically what I was sharing was that this is BCS Solutions is my second company that I started. I started a company called BRC about 10 years ago. I thought I knew about business. I had no idea, but I wanted to try my hand at it, and so I did. Unfortunately, I ran into a lot of debt. I didn't have a lot of training, and I definitely did not have mentors or coaches at that time. So unfortunately, it failed, but it was a great experience because at least I felt like I took the chance to actually start it. So I closed it down 10 years ago and went back to work. I actually went back into my career, which is government contracting / contract closeouts. And so I've done that for the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then about 3 years ago, I went to a seminar called Black Women's Millionaire Experience. And I met Dr. Venus Opal-Reese, who was talking to Black women about, do you have a desire to have your own business? What would you like to do? What are your skill sets? And then how do you actually put that into a business? And so that was kind of...
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
The impetus for me to get started. And then the next year, I went to the Steve Harvey's Act Like a Success conference, and they spoke there about having a year-long training for those who wish to create a business while you're going to school. So this time, I decided to go back to school. So I enrolled in the program and did that for a year while still maintaining my day job. I think the importance of me wanting it bad enough to your topic for tonight. I wanted it bad enough that I was willing to, first of all, stay employed. That was number one. And number two, I was willing to do the work on my own time, out of my own pocket, and basically put my money where my mouth was that I wanted to create something for myself. So I would be able to take what I do on my day job and actually transfer those skills to BCS Solutions and help it to grow into becoming the revenue recovery consulting firm that companies across the country and hopefully around the world will reach out and say, I need help with my money. How do I do this? And how do I teach my teams to collect money successfully from other businesses?
Right. Well, the one thing that I'm listening to you say that I've heard you say several times is the fact that you've invested in yourself. And that I love to hear. A lot of times people want to jump right into business and they're not willing to invest in themselves. They're not willing to take the long steps that it takes, the journey that you need to have in order to have a successful business. What people do is they jump in, open it up, and then they have no clue what they're getting into. And next thing you know, 90% of the time, they're out of business because they won't plan properly. And I love the fact that you've taken the extra time to actually plan and invest in yourself. And, as Dr. Larry White Sr. always says, invest in your dreams. And that's what it's about. We spend enough time sitting and spending our money on things that we don't need versus doing the things that will help us in our futures all the way down, and as well as leave legacies for our families and for ourselves. You know, we want to live now. We don't want to have people talking about us when we're already dead and gone. So I love the fact that you are taking time to invest in yourself. I love those statements because you've said it over and over. And then, you know, to hear that you even taken Steve Harvey's, I've seen that program, and, you know, it's an amazing program. I definitely haven't had the opportunity to be a part of it. I got 20 million things going on, but I've definitely heard a lot about it. So if I do one more thing, I'm gonna be on the ground somewhere. So we ain't gonna do that right now. But
I totally understand that. Well, you know, and thanks, Kimberly, for the compliments. I definitely appreciate that. The thing was, I think the difference in terms of, you know, creating BCS Solutions this time was that, you know, I'd spent, like I said, I went back to my day job, and then I started slowly investigating people who were doing what I wanted to do and who actually had been successful. And then I also realized the importance of education. You know, I have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree in management, and that's great. But there's something to be said for being taught by people who are actually truly successful in their field. And I think for me, the investment was to decide that I didn't know I know how to collect money. That's my gift. If you tell me you have a government contract, a business-to-business contract, if you're in the IT field, the telecom field, and you tell me you've got over 60, 90, or 120 days past due invoices, we can set up a call. I can talk you through it. I know how to do that. I've done that successfully. My claim to fame is I've done $6 million in 60 days. I've done $7.5 million, meaning I've returned that money back to the federal government in a year. So I understand the importance of money and revenue, and that's kind of why I started BCS Solutions. And the other thing is that I worked for an IT firm that, unfortunately, although have recovered the $6 million, they still went out of business, and all of us lost our jobs. And from that day to this, it's a true story. From that day to this, when I figured out, even though I had done $6 million, the rest of the team had not. But unfortunately, even if they had 10 of me and had the same passion and energy, that doesn't necessarily mean they would have stayed in business. But what it taught me was that it was a small IT firm that could have stayed around. All of us didn't necessarily have to lose our jobs, but because we did, it made it my goal, my life's goal and passion is to make sure, as long as I'm around, that if another small business has large accounts receivable issues, for people who don't know what AR is, it's accounts receivable, meaning people owe you money. If they owe you money, my goal is to have a conversation to say, at least, you know, reach out to me, let's talk, let's see if we can figure out why are you owed this money. How do we uncover this, and so that basically you don't end up here again? That's been the mission, and that's what BCS Solutions is all about. It's about recovering money, yes, but it's also to teach the small business owners to not have to go out of business like the company I worked for did, and not just infect them, but all of us that will work for the company. Everybody lost their job two months before Christmas. It was terrible.
Wow. And you know, and these companies don't care. Yeah, and most of these companies don't care. You know, so. But the also thing I noticed that when you're talking about your business, that you're focused on the fact that when you started your first business and it did not work the way you wanted, you learned from that, and that's important. You know, like I said, most people find themselves just giving up and not willing to make those sacrifices they need to make in order to have a successful business. So you definitely are living your dream, and you picked yourself off the ground, you went back and restarted, and that's the way it should be done, and you're doing it the proper way. So I definitely applaud you on that. We got a couple more questions, and then we need to move on to some other things. But, you know, Mr. T, do you have anything that you want to add to the conversation, sir?
I do, actually. Thank you. D, I was reading over your website, and I saw that basically that you guys help fix financial disconnects. And I love the word disconnect. It's one of my favorite words. I just like saying it. It's cool. But okay. I wanted to know if you could give us an example of one of the types of like system problems that you've encountered, and what kind of steps you take to actually resolve those types of systems problems when you're doing your thing.
That's a great question. Thanks for that. So when I say we fix the financial disconnects, what I mean is this. Every company has four parts of their company. They have accounts payable, accounts receivable, sales, and contracts. Those are the main four parts of every business. You have somebody who sells, a bill has to be billed, an invoice that has to be paid, an invoice that has to be collected. Somebody has to sell your widget, your gadget, and then your contract for whatever you're buying or selling. So when I say I fix the financial disconnects, it means to figure out somewhere in those four, within those four entities, something went wrong. So for example, I recently just worked with an IT firm that actually had a government contract. They were owed $2,000. They kept calling the financial office looking to get paid. What happened was, unfortunately, their invoice got rejected. So that's the accounts payable, accounts receivable portion. They didn't know this. Their salesperson didn't know this, and the contracts person didn't tell them this. So they were still spinning their wheels trying to figure out what happened to my money, but they didn't know that it was bigger than just them calling the financial office. And so when I say I fixed the disconnects, what I did was I stepped in and I asked them for a copy of the invoice. I found out who the salesperson was. I found out who the technical person was, and found out who was actually the person that could approve the invoice so they actually could get paid. They had been trying to chase this money since last October.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Since last October. They had been doing that. And so I fixed it within 2 weeks, and they just sent me a note saying, thank you for helping us get this done. But that's what I mean by the disconnects. It's usually somewhere something happened in the process from when the contract was written, the salesperson sold the widget, whatever it was, the bill got submitted, and then it didn't get paid. Unfortunately, what people don't understand is that until you go in and ask, how come I'm not getting paid? Or more importantly, what do I need to do to get paid? You will continue spinning yourself around and around and around, because you're thinking I did a great job. And technically, I'm sure you did. But if you don't know the sales piece, the contract piece, the financial piece, you will just keep going around in this circle. And so unfortunately, that happens to a lot of companies, both large and small. And the B2B is business to business. I also do what's called business to government, but most people understand business to business because most people have a business, and although they dislike having to collect their money, but you have to do that. If you don't collect your money, you're not going to be in business for long, because you have to have revenue in order to focus. And my goal is to help you stay afloat, to stay solvent, and basically increase your cash flow.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Wow, that was a lot of great information. And I want people not to worry that, we could let Dee talk even longer, but we have another guest on the show. And I want people to realize that we will be having Dee come back. She's going to be on my regular show this fall, so be looking out for her. But Dee, please let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Kimberly. You can reach me at BCS Solutions, and the website is www.bcsconsulting, consultinggrp.com. So that's BCS Consulting Group and .com, and it's BCS Solutions. And also you can reach me at BCS Solutions 36 at gmail.com. That's BCS Solutions 36 at gmail.com. And before I go, Kimberly, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to your listeners. I'm looking forward to coming back on again in the fall.
Absolutely. And I will be seeing you in a week. So, and we'll be talking about that a little later on the show. So, Mr. T, do you have anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Dee. It was a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you again for your time.
I definitely enjoyed it. You're welcome, man. Thank you. Get it.
All right. Okay. Wow. That was a lot of great information. It's amazing what we think we know and what we know we don't know. Okay. So,
That's
like you said,
true.
those disconnects, definitely is always something missing in there. But you know what? Time is just really going crazy. So we're going to jump right into this next interview. We really need to bring our guest on. It's already 25 after, and the show's got to be over at 8. So anyway. Kenyon, are you on, sir? Are you on?
I am absolutely here.
All right. Well, I want to introduce you all to Kenyon Salo. As we said earlier, Kenyon is the founder and owner of Kenyon Salo, Inc. Kenyon is a top trainer. He is a facilitator and a keynote speaker in the fields of adventure, leadership, team building, sales, customer service, inspiration, and motivation. I can't wait to get to the motivation and the top training. I've seen you do some things, Kenyon, so you're going to have to tell us about this Denver Broncos stuff going on. You skydiving. I can't wait to hear all of this. So I'm excited here.
Well, thanks so much for having me on. I'm fired up to be here.
Well, it is my pleasure. I'm really, really, truly excited about you. We have definitely been doing our research on you, and you have been, when it comes to sacrificing and just jumping out there and doing things, you are the man, okay?
Well, thank you. I accept.
Well, good. So, so just, tell us all a little bit about yourself.
For me, one of my favorite things to do is speak in front of an audience. And I have the opportunity to travel all over the country and speak to audiences and really connect with them. And my number one goal is to be able to share with them 3 very simple concepts, because I really think that these 3 simple concepts tie in all across in everything we do. And it really is what makes us most happy. And it's about creating more experiences, like what's on your bucket list. Mm-hmm. It's about sharing stories with others. That's what we're doing here, right? We're connecting and we're sharing stories.
Exactly.
And ultimately why I think we're on this planet, which is we live more fulfilled. And how do we do that? We do that by helping others first. Because when we help others first, everything we desire will come back tenfold. And it proves itself time and time again. So that's my passion and the main thing that I get to do, and I love to share that with the world.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I love what you just said. When you help others, everything comes back tenfold. So, like I said, I've had the opportunity to kind of just review some information about you. And I want to real quickly say thank you to Dr. Larry White Sr. for connecting us. I did not realize what type of connection I was getting until I really started to dig deep. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
my.
He's a champ. He's a superstar.
Yes, he is my mentor. He is my partner. I'm actually one of the co-chair on the DMV Mastermind group with him. So he has just been a phenomenal individual. So like I said, to have this opportunity to talk with you, I'm just excited to hear more. But what I really want to know about is what's this diving thing going on over the Denver Broncos? Okay, because we need to, okay, and obviously you're there all the time because you live in Denver, of course. So, but tell me, how did you get involved with that?
Well, no pun intended, I kind of fell into it, but really how it works is that I've been skydiving for 20 years. It's been my passion. It's the thing I did. I started with 1 skydive and it added up, and now I've got over 6,000 skydives. And at about the 4,000 skydive mark, I was invited for a chance to be on this team. They were trying something else out new for the Denver Broncos. They wanted faster parachutes. They wanted faster landings for the pre-game crowd. They wanted this type of energy coming on to the field. And so what we do is, there's a lot of parachute teams that jump into games. Mm-hmm. They jump very large, docile parachutes. First, we're the only team that is associated with an NFL team. So we jump into every single home game of the Denver Broncos. We wear Denver Broncos gear. We're called Team Thunderstorm. We're part of the Denver Broncos. And we fly very fast parachutes. It's basically like parallel parking a car at 50 miles an hour. We come down.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
We surf the stands about 50 feet above them. We turn down the field, and our parachutes go the whole length of the field from one end zone all the way to the other. And then we have to stop. Because you know what? You run out of field, and there's nothing but a big cement wall. So we got to make sure that we don't run out of field.
Good grief. Now, that would be scary. But see, that's the thing of jumping and leaping into doing something new and phenomenal. And even though you've been doing the skydiving for many years, to do it in that arena, that's got to be an incredible feeling inside.
Yeah, every time. And we do it for the fans and the fans that cheer us and they know us. And it's really about them first and foremost. And yes, it is an amazing feeling to jump into the game and to be able to provide that. And, sometimes we show up on TV, sometimes we don't. Sometimes, one of the team members will, have a fast landing and they'll show that. But you know what? It's amazing. And I would say one of my favorite things is that when we're walking along the stands on our way back to where we put our parachutes in the bags, we get to high five so many people, and high fiving some of those kids. Oh, to see it on their face, it's amazing.
I bet it is. Well, look, I'm gonna be one of those kids. I'm a big kid. I want to high five when y'all come down. And I'm gonna tell you now, my son is a huge Denver Bronco fan. So he's like, "Oh my gosh, we need to go see the. When can we get tickets?" I'm like, "Really?" So yeah, that is amazing. So when I think about with the skydiving, do you use that as a part of your inspiration and motivational speaking?
Sure, it is the opening because it's the thing that it's like this woo and this awe factor and the wow factor. And that's the introduction. That's the, hey, I've always wanted to have this experience. It was on my bucket list. I got to finally check it off. And so that gets the crowd or the audience members into the engagement. And then we take them through. It's like an amazing Academy Award-winning movie. It's got laughter. It's got drama to it. It's got aha moments, and then it's got some teary moments at the end. We bring them through the process. And I say we because it's a team. I work with a team with audio and video, and then my keynote presentation, and it is really, really powerful. But yeah, we get the audience engaged, and so many people love football, and they love the idea of skydiving. It's really, it's not for everybody, but I can say that everybody can respect what it is.
Right, I can imagine. Yeah, especially when you really see it right there from the the stands. Because I look at looking at it on TV has got to be a different experience versus being there, but. I guess what I'm saying, the other thing I'm trying to figure out, being that this is one of your bucket list things, is this something that you utilize when you do your speaking engagements?
Always, every single time. I actually show and talk about it in the opening, and I show some pictures, and I show some video from a CBS clip when they came and interviewed us, and yeah, people really get on board with it because even if they're not in the stands, they can. There's a couple of storylines that I tell that really, really tie it in, and they it's almost like they're there, and that's the power of a great story. If you tell a great story, it's as if they were there. Right,
exactly. Mr. T, you got some questions. I see you over there looking at some things. I can see you now.
Oh,
right?
yes. She can
Remember.
See me, Kenyon, so they're looking at my notes.
Hashtag
busted. Yes. So, well, actually, I do have questions for you, Kenyon. So you're known as the James Bond of motivational speaking.
Yes.
And so when we think of James Bond, at least when I think of James Bond, I think of somebody who's calm, cool, and collected in any situation. And your job as a motivational speaker is to get people fired up. So how do you bring those two things together? And in what ways are you similar to James Bond?
Well, yeah, I love that question, and that's really the key thing. Well, here's what it comes down to. So cool, calm, and collective. Yes, James Bond, absolutely. But what else is he? He's also adventurous, right? So there's the adventure. He also dresses to kill, and that's the way I show up on stage, well dressed. He's phenomenal with technology, and so my keynote presentations are to the T, have this technology advancement to them. They're really refined in that. But also, James Bond, he's got a lot of humor to him, so that's super, super key, the one-liners and those types of things. And you know what? At the end of the day, he's not infallible. He's human like the rest of us, and he's able to really embrace those downsides of himself, whether he makes a mistake or something comes up, and he embraces that. And so I really show that. So, it's like women, they want to be around James Bond, and men want to be James Bond. So the audience ultimately they resonate with what I bring to the table.
Well, awesome. I have to agree with that one because I seen that picture. I was like, oh my.
she was. I actually had to tell her, try not to flirt with him on the air during the show. Wait till after or before.
Well, I couldn't help. I had to, when he said that, the dress, I was like, yeah, I was thinking about that picture. I'm like, you definitely fit the mode. Definitely fit the mode. Love it.
That's how it works. Thank you. You're making me blush a little bit here.
That's good. That's good. You're too far away from me to give you hugs. That's the least I can do, okay?
Oh, for everybody.
Well, I have another question for you, Kenyon.
Sure. Fire away.
So, I have my own brand. I have my own business, Move with T, and I call my students my movers and shakers. And you have team bucket lists, and I know you touched on team bucket list a little bit earlier when you were speaking. And Can you tell us who Team Bucket List is, or who can be a member of Team Bucket List, and what they have to do to be a member of the team?
Yeah, so Team Bucket List Life, it was something that was started in Colorado, and it was a bunch of friends, and we just started getting together, and we lived those three basic things, which was create more experiences, share more stories, and live more fulfilled by helping others. And that grew and grew, and we started doing some great things and helping the homeless and going to the children's hospital and things like that. You know, ultimately, the bucket list life, it's a theory. And that's what it really comes down to. And if people want to live the bucket list life, you know, they can live it. And they can learn more about what I do and those concepts at kenyonsalo.com, or they can just reach out to me on Facebook. And that's the other way. I mean, it's not too hard to find. There's not many Kenyon Salos out there. So it's really easy. People can add me. And then it's just about living that life. So that's how they join. Or, you know what, just ultimately live the philosophy. You know, it's more of a philosophy than anything.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, thank you.
It reminds me of the "Are you living or existing" concept. You know,
that's right.
So many people get up every day and they're just living, or they're just existing, but not really living. And you're taking that whole theory all the way to the top. You know, with what you do. So love it. So wow, this is, you know, like I said, we could probably talk a lot longer, but I also want to let everybody know that Kenyon will definitely be back on my show, and he will be doing a full 30-minute interview with me on my WSBI, podcast for your success show. So you don't have to worry about it. You will hear more from him. And you have any other questions, Mr. T? Because our time is good. I can't get over how fast time is going tonight. It's like
I know our time always moves so fast.
I don't let him go. Yeah.
I don't have any other questions. I was thinking about skydiving. I keep thinking about that because I'm like, I've never done it, and I'm scared to death to even imagine myself doing it. So I'm just imagining you, Kenyon, in the air, pummeling down toward the earth. And you do that all the time.
Yeah, you know, I'll make it super easy for you and for anybody out there that's thinking about skydiving. The hardest part about skydiving is making the phone call for the reservation. So I challenge anybody who wants to do it, make the phone call for the reservation. After that, everything just happens. So that's my recommendation to you and anybody else.
Oh, my
Make the call. Make the call.
Uh-oh. Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
If I do that, I'm going to tag you. I'm going to say, Kenyon Salo, I'm doing it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, you know, like I said, we definitely have a lot more to talk about, but I hate to let you go, but you know, what I would like for you to do, of course, is tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, kenyonsalo.com is one way, and then also look me up on Facebook. You'll find me, just enter in Kenyon Salo and follow me on Facebook or Instagram. And I reach out to me. I'm happy to help anybody. I love connecting with people.
Well, I really appreciate that, and definitely appreciate you taking the time, as I know that you were traveling, as you know, we talked a little bit earlier, so I definitely don't want to take up all the rest of your evening, but again, it's been a pleasure. We'll definitely be talking soon, and I'm just excited about having you on the show again.
High fives to everybody.
All right. Take care, Kenyon.
Thank you, Kenyon.
Bye.
All right. Woo, Mr. T.
I know our time is just flying. I'm looking at my watch. We got like 20 minutes left.
I know, and the thing is that the information is like, so, we can keep talking and talking. And that's the beautiful thing about our show. We bring valuable information and to learn something. Two different people with two amazing different businesses. And to hear how each one of them are restructuring people's lives and helping them get over that issue of not wanting to do it, that they're kind of stuck, and they're doing it in different ways. Here you got one person helping recover money, and then you got another person helping you try and make some money. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Living your dreams,
exactly.
Living those dreams. So, it's
like
great.
We're making it and we're keeping it.
It's great. Exactly. But you know what? Because we have our time is very limited, what we're going to do, and again, I want to say thank you for the Facebook Live list. People are watching. I explained earlier, and I know some people are confused. It's like, I can't hear anything. The reason why you can't hear everything that we're talking about tonight is simply because if you have not linked into the speaker links that came on the Facebook page, or if you didn't go right into iHeartRadio so you could hear it, you're not going to hear you probably missed out on some of the interview. I just wanted to give you guys an option just to see what my world looks like and what we look like when we are actually doing these live interviews. You know, we've got the equipment here. I've got 2 or 3 screens running at the same time. So, you know, this is what it takes to be having your own radio show, having a podcast, whether it's live or not live. But you know, I just wanted to get that opportunity to share that with everybody who's, you know, there's quite a few people actually are hanging in there and watching, whether they're hearing everything or not, you know, so I appreciate that. But, you know, Mr. T, we need to dive into some events. What you think?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Where do you want to get started? Because we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We've got some things that you're going to be more familiar with. We got some things that I got going on. You want to switch off? Maybe you take one, and then I'll talk a little bit, and then we'll just hand it off back and forth.
All right. Well, you know, the one thing I do need to say first is that, you know, I just got back from New York yesterday, and oh my gosh.
I love the pictures on Facebook. I was like, oh, that's my friend. That's my friend.
Yay, yes. Yeah, the experience was phenomenal. Having the opportunity to be on this amazing radio station called Voice of the People with Kiana L. Williams. And we had, of course, I have to give all my thanks to Dr. Larry White Sr. for connecting all of us on this opportunity. Then we had DJ FMI was there. You know, we had PK Kersey. For those who don't know who PK Kersey is, you need to look this man up. He is the founder and owner of Suits. He has an actual book, so he's an author, but he also has a nonprofit organization. Look him up. He is amazing. He has been all around the country doing this phenomenal program for young men, teaching them how to dress for success. So it's important that you look him up. And of course, we had with us Dr. Essie McCoy. Hey, Dr. Essie, I just want to say, yes, she'll know what I'm talking about. So, you know, she was with us, but, you know, the show was phenomenal. We actually dug into some things that I never thought we would really get into on the show, but we really, the whole hour, 2 hours, I mean, we were there so long, I actually forgot what time it was, you know, by the time we finished, but it was phenomenal. We've been blowing up ever since. So I do want to just say a quick shout out and say thank you for that opportunity. And then, of course, I'm going to just segue real quickly into an upcoming event that we have at the 21st of July. Since we've been talking a lot about success and depositing your dreams, we actually have a Deposit Your Dreams into Success workshop coming up on July 21st, which that is next Saturday. Can you believe that? I'm sitting here thinking, man, I can't believe how quickly this has come. And that's going to be located at the Microsoft store in Tysons, Virginia. That is $50 for the program, for the workshop. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this workshop. Make sure you guys look at our Facebook pages. We keep the flyers up there every single day. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on that. So please join us. I'm telling you, you're going to learn about what it means to be an entrepreneur. Talk about leadership. I'm going to be giving you some business tips and making you understand how being an author is more than just writing a book. So, you know, you definitely want to be a part of that, you know, workshop itself. So do you have, I'm going to segue over here to you, Mr. T, you know, before we start, I'm rambling because I got a whole lot more to talk about.
No, hey, I know, I see all the notes that we got. So.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
I know that you got more to talk about. Well, I'm going to mention 2 events kind of in the same vein because they're part of the same organization. They just have 2 separate dates in which they're doing things. So a place where people can find me, actually, or at Gold's Gym Lorton and or Gold's Gym ETC, which is ETC stands for Elite Training Center. Gold's Gym Lorton is of course in Lorton, Virginia, and Gold's Gym ETC is located in Maroon School Plaza in Woodbridge, Virginia. And both of them have open houses coming up. And the open houses are free. They go from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. At Gold's Gym Lorton, it will be from 5 to 8 on July 17th. So that's Tuesday, July 17th. That's this coming Tuesday. And then at Gold's Gym ETC on July 23rd, which is the final Monday. Well, not the final Monday, but the last Monday of the last full week of July, also from 5 to 8. And during the open houses, so people know what's going on, is they have their food. There's food. There are sometimes vendors on hand. They have membership specials as well, like raffles and prizes going on. It's a much livelier environment that's going on during that time. So because we want everybody to know that working out is a party. And also on the 17th at Gold's Gym Lorton, they're going to have a 5-star nutrition on hand, giving out some free samples. So in addition to all the other free stuff that's going on, they're going to have some free samples on hand that you can try out and see if you might be interested in that. And once again, at Gold's Gym Lorton, it's July 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. in Lorton, Virginia. And then on July 23rd, following up at Gold's Gym Elite Training Center in Woodbridge, located in Maroon School Plaza, from 5 to 8 as well. Once again, they're free, so you can go to the gym and work out for free. If that's the only thing you do, only time you go to the gym this year, you can go to the gym from 5 to 8 for 3 hours on both of those days, and nobody will know. And I'll see you guys actually on the 23rd because I'll be there. I'll be there from 6:30 to like 8:30. So I'll be there on hand. So if you want to come out and meet, come on out and meet me. Hey, and take my classes.
But like they say, invest in yourself, right? And there's an opportunity to learn something new. Zumba is phenomenal. I just love it. I've been doing it for probably, I think, 6, 7, 8 years now. And, part of that of my life of Zumba was being a teacher, but now I'm just one of your cronies. I just hang out with you.
Oh, no, you're one of my friends. You're part of my family now.
I know. I'm one of the groupie girls,
See, right? One of my homies. But I do want to let folks know on the 23rd at ETC, actually will be in the cycle studio and in the main studio. So you can come take cycle with me and you can Zumba with me right after. So it's a 2-for-1. You can't beat that.
There you go. And it's free. That's the famous word, free.
Free.
So, yes, exactly. So real quickly, we got about 15 minutes. I'm going to run down a couple other events that we have going on in the community. And, of course, I got to mention my new live radio TV show that will be starting next Friday, July 20th, and it is called Author's Corner. So if you are an author, you are more than welcome to reach out to me if you would like to be on my show, be a guest on my show. The show is on Friday evenings at 8:30. And I got my first author coming up, Martina Maya. She is the author of Fibroids. Man, I just went blank the name of her actual book, but she's an author who's actually a co-author and collected with other women talking about the issues of fibroids. So, it's an amazing opportunity to talk to her. We have met before through my other show, so I'm really excited about having her as my first guest. So I just want to bring that out. So tune in, and this will be live through Zoom, but you have to listen to me on YouTube, okay? So you won't be able to see me on Facebook on that one. I actually will be on as an SRN Live Television, which is, we call it Source Nation. So, hey, this is a whole new platform with some great authors coming on board. So I'll be looking forward to that next Friday night. Of course, the other big thing we got coming up in August, because we're pretty much coming all the way out of July, as Mr. T was talking earlier. So I have I've got the first self-publishing workshop coming up. Learn, Publish, and Profit, August 25th. You do not want to miss this. If you are an inspiring author, you don't know what to do, or you're an author who's already wrote a book, it's sitting up on a shelf, you don't know how to market it, or it's sitting there because you're scared, you don't know what else to do after you wrote this book, I'm going to teach you the process. I'm going to show you what it takes, where after you actually write that book within 90 days, you will be able to actually sell the book and start making profit. I'm going to teach you all the process of it. It's going to be a 3-hour program workshop. You do not want to miss it. You will have great materials that will come with this. Right now, we're still on the early bird special for veterans and for students. It's $49.95. For everybody else, it's $69.95 right now. And I may have another good special coming up after tomorrow, because the early bird is supposed to end tomorrow. But I think I got a little surprise for y'all. So keep your eyes open on Facebook. And you can also go to Eventbrite. It is called Learn, Publish, and Profit Self-Publishing Workshop on August 25th. I'm going to go into one more, and then I'm going to let you, if you have any other things. Do you have any other things on the event, Mr.
I
T?
do. I've got a couple more. So you go ahead and take it away, and then I'll take it home.
All right. Real quick. On August the 16th, Cocktails and Conversations with Concierge over at the Top Golf, which is going to be in Alexandria, Virginia. So, if you guys want to have a little mixer, want to meet some new people in business and collaborate and communicate, bring a friend, bring some business cards. It's going to be from 6 to 9. Cocktails and Conversations with Concierge. This is sponsored by Dr. Larry White Sr. He is the CEO and founder of VIP Events Concierge LLC. So like I said, we will be at Top Golf in Alexandria on the 16th. And you can also come and meet me. So if I don't see you at any of my other programs, we definitely would love to see you there. All right.
And I'll be there too.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll be there too. It's Thursday. That's perfect. Love Thursdays.
Love it. Take it home.
Okay, well, I've got 2 more events coming at you guys. So for everyone that knows, I do health and fitness, Zumba, cycle, all sorts of good stuff. But in dance fitness, I wanted to let everybody know this weekend there is an event going on at the Lincoln Memorial. It's Mega Shea. It's part of the Casa Shea brand. It's Mega Shea. They're doing a fundraiser for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And it's this Sunday, July 15th, and it'll be outside at the Lincoln Memorial. This is a great weekend. I think the weather should be pretty nice. So this is the perfect time for people to get out, try it out. If you've never done it before, it's a wonderful dance fitness program. The Casa Shea part, and Mega Shea is just their way of making it even bigger. So if you guys can make it out to that, be prepared to go out and dance for a great cause. Also, reminder on July 22nd, speaking of Casa Shea, July 22nd, some of my good brother and sisters in the Zumba community, or I should say dance fitness community as well, so because I'm all encompassing. They're bringing a wonderful international presenter, as a matter of fact, William Flores, to the DMV. He'll be actually at the Underground, which is where Casa Shea, kind of like their home base. It's at 6728 Industrial Road in Springfield. And tickets are available on eventbrite.com. So you can buy tickets to see William Flores dance your heart out next weekend. And then this weekend you can dance with them underneath the Lincoln Memorial in the Capitol. So that's all I got, Lady K.
All right. Well, we're down to a few minutes. We're not going to be able to do a whole lot about moment of inspiration, but I think we've definitely inspired people tonight with our guests, with our topic of discussion. I mean, it's always such a pleasure being able to hang out with you, of course, and do this. And we got so much more coming. I know everybody's asking, when are you guys coming back? When are you coming back? Well, we will be back. We got a couple months. We're going to be taking a little break because I got a lot of other things going on. But, of course, my other show will still be on, so you will still be able to listen every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. I also wanted to remind people that next year we're going to be on every single month.
Yes.
OMG, right?
Yeah,
okay,
so we're already working. I think we're already working into April so far.
Yeah,
so we've got dates lined up. So this is awesome.
Yeah. So, but our next live show, of course, is going to be in September, and we got a couple more special guests coming in September, and we're going to be talking a lot about Zumba. We're going to let Dr. Larry White Sr. come on. We got Socrates come out. We are going to have a nice full lineup again in September. We're going to take, like I said, we got a little break in August because we got some extra things going on, as you just heard, within our community. But if you're out there listening to us, and I know you are, especially if you're looking at us on Facebook, if you want to be a guest on our show, you have a business or you have an event going on, all you have to do is send us a message. Type us a message, people. We're here. You can find us on Facebook. If you live in the Virginia community and you know us personally, let us know. Give us a call. We're around, text us if you got our numbers. This is an opportunity. This show is about sharing the resources. Show is about talking about what's going on directly within our community. So please, don't be afraid to hang out and say, let us know what you want. If there's a specific topic you would like us to talk about, also let us know that too. Isn't that right, Mr. T? Mr. T, what you doing back there? I hear some things going on. You researching?
Yeah.
You researching?
No, I heard something. I was looking. I thought it was on your side because everything is like copacetic over here. I was like, well, what was that going on? But we are. Let's people know we are live. So little things that happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Whether we're together or we're apart, any little things you guys are going to hear that when we're live because our show is all about being live. So everything you guys hear is edited. It's coming at you as is.
Exactly. Yeah, because the one thing I don't do is I don't edit. Okay. First of all, I don't have the editing skills. Okay. So that is not going to happen. Okay. So you're definitely going to get it raw. This is all live. It's real. This is what we do. So again, I just want to thank everybody for coming and listening to our show tonight. For those who were not listening through Spreaker or were not listening through actual iHeartRadio or through YouTube or through the Facebook links that I provided, you'll have to go back and review the show later on this evening because you definitely missed out on some great information. What we were doing tonight was giving ourselves an opportunity to show you this is the world we live in when we're doing our live shows. So we have a lot going on in the background scenes. You guys really can't see my desk. All you can really see is the microphone and see me, and you can see Mr. T on his stuff. I've got like 3, computers going on at the same time because this is the world that we live in. This is how it works. But I just want to, again, say thank you all for listening. Mr. T, do you have any last words?
I do. Actually, this kind of ties into my message I shared with my movers and shakers earlier on my Thoughtful Thursday, but and it goes in line with our topic for today about do you want it bad enough? But I just want to remind everybody to take it slow, have a clear picture of your goals, know what it is you want to accomplish, understand that it's not a race, and you are your end goal.
Oh, love it, and we're gonna leave it with that. I don't have to say anything else. Awesome. Again, like I said, I want to thank everybody for listening to us tonight. I absolutely want to thank D. Bowden and Kenyon Salo for coming on, and love you to death, Mr. T. Hate to let you go.
Mwah.
Mwah. Back at you.
Mwah.
As usual, and I will see you soon. Actually, it's tomorrow night.
Soon.
See you on that floor.
On the dance floor. And to all our listeners out there.
Yeah. And to all the listeners, thank you. And of course, the Facebook people for hanging in with us. We appreciate it. But I also want to let you know real quick, you can find us, of course, on iHeartRadio. But this show, WSBI, Your Resource for Success podcast show, has been accepted, and we will also be on Spotify. So be looking for that information in the next couple of weeks so that you will have another platform to hear this phenomenal show on. But until next time, you all have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.wsbillc.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Hello.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.